I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll get a chance to see Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings as they square off with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by at CenturyLink Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and as we look at this matchup, every time there's something different to focus on. So I'll just ask you, what do you see here in this one?
Well, Rembrandt, you've given me a pretty blank canvas to focus on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm going to go with this?
Oh, secondary?
You know me well, right? In a game like this, it's always about the secondary. Can they handle the passing attack and make a few plays?
The AFC's Pro Bowl kicker from a year ago, Jason Myers, will get us started. And off we go from Seattle. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Captain Kirk Cousins bringing out this.
I see what you're doing there.
Yeah.
Well done.
Bringing out the Minnesota Vikings here. Let's talk about Kirk because he's got the Vikings at 8-3 after that crazy come-from-behind win in Week 11 against Denver. It's Minnesota's largest comeback win in almost 3 decades without star wide receiver Adam Thielen. Kirk Cousins threw for 319, 3 touchdowns, no picks either, CD.
And I love the way that he adjusts without his star receiver Thielen. Then he finds Stephon Diggs. And then Kyle Rudolph, the tight end, has become a bigger part of the offense in recent weeks. So when you look at what Kirk Cousins is doing right now, you really have to be impressed with all the criticism he received earlier this year. He's winning big games now.
Cousins now, and incomplete to open things up. Quandre Diggs there defensively. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And this offensive line, they're going to have to be a lot better than they were right there. We certainly won't measure them just by one play, but they definitely got a big challenge ahead of them in this one because this defense, they love to run blitz, and they clog up the running lanes.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing, Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And right away, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
So on fourth down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
Right there, 54 Mike. Come off the ball hard. 36.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And they'll get him down up past the 15. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. First and 10 at the 18. Here's Wilson to throw. He's got his man. That's Josh Gordon. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 15. First down, Seahawks. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
From the shotgun, Wilson completes it to Dixon. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now it's Wilson. He'll find Ballore out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Now Wilson on first down. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Looked like man coverage, able to read it there on the outside for the completion. That'll be something to track as the game goes along here.
It certainly will, and there's so many different ways that they will try to figure out whether they're in man or zone. Sometimes you'll run a guy in motion to see if someone runs.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. They'll roll him out. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. That's going to be caught. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you've got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game?
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create...
And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Time to see the Vikings offense again here. And we mentioned it earlier, but they're 8-3 right now. We talked about that 20-point deficit that they overcame to beat Denver in Week 11. Remember, they were 2-2, now at 8-3. If you look at the NFC landscape, is this a legitimate contender to go to the Super Bowl?
The story of the Viking season will not be written in September. That's what their head coach Mike Zimmer said after their 2-2 start. This is definitely a contender. Defense remains good, but the offense has really elevated its game. Dalvin Cook, one of the top runners in the league. Kirk Cousins has taken his game to a new level at quarterback, and the ball can be spread. Kyle Rudolph at tight end, Stephon Diggs at wide receiver. They'll get Adam Thielen back. This team can score from any part of the field.
Week 12, they're off. They get a break, and then at Seattle before hosting division rival Detroit. on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Play fake. Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Check right 54. Right 54.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Open man is Ursua. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 37-yard line.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Vikings nothing.
What? 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing is Wilson. And Dixon has it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. They run it with Carson. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go.
Here's Carson. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
That's a gain of 3. Now 3rd and 5.
Mike 54.
Yeah, let's get a second.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. That's caught by Hollister. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D.
Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back.
I got you.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And he's got it. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
This is similar to baseball where you walk the leadoff hitter and you don't expect him to come around and score. Almost impossible. Anytime a defense has to defend a short field, you usually end up seeing the result we saw, giving up points.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than 1 tackler to the ball. He broke the 1st tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch the flag, watch the flag, watch the flag. Watch the flag, motion.
Again, it's Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. First down, here's the run with Cook. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up second and a yard at the Seahawks 28-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Cousins to throw it. His throw incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Cousins again. And he's able to find Diggs. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. They'll throw again. Cousins. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Marquise Blair, 2nd-round pick from Utah, there to bat it away.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. To the air again, it's Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such...
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Cousins now. That'll be complete to Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays, and a 9-yard run on the end of it. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now. 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. To throw is Wilson. He'll find Ballore out of the backfield. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
One of the selling points at the end route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time.
On first down, Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marched off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now it's Carson. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. Completes it to Dixon. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Green 80. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. 65. 65.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
Big stop. Let's go.
They go option right on 2nd and goal. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Six plays got him down here. This is play number 7, 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. There to make the grab. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Now Myers for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half.
And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They run it again with Cook. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, Cousins. Completes it to the fullback, Ham. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, they opted not to run it. They completed the pass on 3rd and 2, but they lost yardage to bring up 4.
Well, give credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They snuffed out the play, but it does bring into question, 1, the play call, because they didn't run the ball there. They could have run it, and 2, just not getting it. That's got to be deflating for them.
Returnable for Lockett. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. The tight end, Ed Dixon, was the target. And it's 2nd down. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage.
If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Now Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game, and he's got a first down as well. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. That's caught by Hollister. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Check 55, Mike. I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine. You're all mine.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Dancing to his left. He'll run it. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal.
I'm coming after you.
Here's Wilson. Sliding out of the pocket. And now he's going to use his legs. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So on 4th down, here's Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal. This to make it a 3. Now the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games but only led the Vikes to just one fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. They start the drive with Cook. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Don't get nervous.
Draw play. Cousins to Cook.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And some space here. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there, Cousins to Thielen. 63 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs there to make the grab as his guys are back within a single score. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Let's go.
And out now come the Seahawks. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, So we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and then, by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Great time there to come up with his longest run of the night. We just saw it.
Leads to a lot of satisfaction because if they're able to hang on and win this game, you know what else will happen in the locker room after this?
What's that?
Head coach will step up and go, great job, guys. Because of that, come in a little bit later tomorrow.
Here's the team.
54. Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
Now a play fake here on first down. Out to his left. He's going to take off with it. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Situation, let's go. Rush in, rush in, rush in.
This is Carson, and he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Carson on the carry. Anthony Barr brought him down. A gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd and 1.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
I got it.
And he'll give it here to his running back. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. I'm here all day.
On 3rd down, Carson, and they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. But things just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Cousins to throw. And Diggs has it. And he'll take this from one 47-yard line to the other, a gain of 6.
And remember, field goal does them no good in this situation.
You got to think they should be taking some shots for the end zone soon. Cousins trying to get his guys up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings.
This is where hustle and urgency come into play. I think you've got to get up there and spike it.
1st down now, but that clock rolling. Here's Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Yes, sir, that touchdown puts them in striking distance. And let me tell you something, forget being conservative here. Go for it, go for 2.
Well, going for it on the road. Want to win it right now.
Want to win it right now, have the momentum, go ahead and get it done.
So now this will be, in all likelihood, to force overtime. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. So now this will be, in all likelihood, to force overtime. And he has got it. So barring something crazy on the kickoff, we're looking at an extra period to decide this one. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
comes Minnesota. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start out here with a jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Cousins gives way to Cook. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
He was taken down by Bobby Wagner. It's a gain of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
In need of a 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this opening drive of OT alive. The first throw in overtime now for Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. Now it's Lockett. 51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. First throw in overtime now for Wilson. And now he'll tuck it and run. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. On deck, punt.
Draw play. This is Carson. And an alley to run. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 1.
What? 315.
55. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Now what can Wilson do here in the OT? And Dixon has it. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. 1st down Seahawks. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Danielle Hunter just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively jars it free. No first down.
Now here's Michael Dixon, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. And out now come the Vikings. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. This being their second opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive, see if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
Keep playing hard.
Cousins on first down. He finds his man Johnson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They run. Cook. The 20. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Seattle.